Hey, great to see everybody again. I would like to start by congratulating Harrison Phillips on being the Vikings Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee. We obviously had a bunch of deserving guys. The other guy that comes to mind is Cam Bynum, but we had a lot of deserving guys. But obviously Harrison leads that charge, and I'm thrilled for him to be honored in this way. Harrison's been obviously a great leader for our team. For me personally, he's someone that I go to about, the pulse of where we're at, how guys are feeling. And I think he's got a real good connection to our group and our team. So, I'm really, really excited for him in this nomination. Specific to last week, it was obviously disappointing. I didn't talk to you guys after the game, the Chicago game, but it was disappointing to go into the bye week, with a loss. It was a tough game, hard-fought game, but obviously a lot to learn, from our standpoint. I think our guys played hard. They were physical, they were tough, and we knew it was going to be a 60-minute ball game. And there's certainly a lot to learn from the situation specifically at the end of the game, we'll obviously make those corrections and improve moving forward. But obviously got a big test this week, and really, we've put ourselves in a position where everything's out in front of us. We've got a great opportunity, but we're going to have to earn it. And that was a message to our guys. When they were back in the building yesterday. So excited to get going.
Brian, with the way the defense has played this year, your name is coming up in a lot of head coaching conversations for the future. I know you're focused on the Raiders, but I guess I wonder what your sense is for what opportunities could present themselves for this year or for next year, and your approach to that.
Matt, I understand the question. I really do. My message, my message to our guys yesterday was, we've got 35 guaranteed days. That's all we got. That's guaranteed. And I asked them to put everything into these 35 days. And I just don't, I can't give that message and not heed that message. So, that's where my focus is. My focus is on these guys, this team, these next 5 games, because that's all we really have. And that's I understand the question, but that's where my focus is. And, all the other stuff, I asked them to block it out, and I'm blocking it out myself, because I think you got to lead by example, and I'm certainly going to do that. So I know that that's out there. I'm not blind to any of that. But I'm really focused on the task at hand. And like I said, my message to those guys was, we got 5 weeks. Let's put everything into these 5 weeks, and not come out of it with any regrets and saying, hey, my focus was on this, so it wasn't on you guys. That's not happening. I think these guys work too hard. They've put a lot into the season already. And again, I understand the question, but that is really not where I'm at right now. I'm on the Raiders.
Do you take overt actions to avoid that? Do you tell your agent not to bring it up, or just not? Maybe they know not to bring it up.
Yeah, they know not to bring it up.
What did as you looked back at the Bears game at that end? You mentioned things learned from at the end of that game.
Yeah.
What were the takeaways in your mind on that?
Just I think we've got to play better in those situations. We've got to as coaches, I've got to do a better job of putting them in situations to make those plays to finish the game off. I think there was a lot of things that were done well throughout the course of the game, but it's those end-of-game plays that are most important. So, as a staff, we just took another look at it. And I think over the last, these final 5 games, they're all going to be tough. it'll probably come down to situations just like that, and we got to find a way to be better, to put them in better positions.
It appeared from the outside, at least, that you guys had a little bit of a different approach on that final drive in terms of how many pass rushers and coverage and all that. Was that like a conscious thing at that point that we're gonna play it this way, or just kind of what you thought in the moment was? And it was a little bit different from the other possessions that they had.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, there's things that we could have done differently. Things that we've looked at, and I think we just need to do a better job overall. And that starts with me. And whether that's pressuring more, I feel like that's where you're going with this. Whether that's pressuring more, or playing coverage, or a mix of both, or we just got to find a way to finish games off.
What does your bi-week self-scout process look like?
We really self-scout every week. We kind of got a running log of, hey, we've done, X, Y, we've done this many, coverages, 3-mans, 4-mans, 5-mans, and first down, second down, third down. So I've got a pretty good feeling of what we've done. So really more of it is, hey, what have we done well? Let's try to continue to do more of that. And then, some of the stuff that we haven't done as well, let's not try to fix that. Let's shelve that for now. And there's a lot of things that go into that. Some things that we did well or didn't do well. There were different people doing them. Obviously throughout the course of the season, you got new guys in there, whether it's Jordan Hicks out or Marcus Davenport out or new guys going in. So their strengths, weaknesses are different. So you got to be able to adjust and be flexible, which I think we've been able to do. So there is a running self scout, but it's a moving self scout also. But we'll like I said, we'll try to do the things we've done well with the personnel that we have, and try to play their strengths.
What shaped your perspectives like to do it every week, to log it every week like that, and review it every week?
Because I know the offense is reviewing it. So again, like I think we talked about that 1 year on offense that I had as an offensive assistant. I saw it weekly. Hey, they do here's all their third down, here's all their first and second down, this is their runs. So I watched that process, and I know they're reviewing it and looking for tendencies. So, I think it's just due diligence for us defensively to look at our tendencies and make sure that, it's not always a pressure from the right, that you got to sneak a couple pressures from the left in. That's really generic. It's not right or left, but sometimes it is. I think that's just, kind of standard procedure, at least for us to just make sure we don't get caught in a situation where it's, they're definitely doing that, because I know offensively they're looking for that.
How much have you seen Ivan Pace grow into his role, calling the defense, being vocal, with getting the call, relaying it to everyone else?
Yeah, Ivan's doing a good job. He's kind of, growing week to week. He's improving week to week. It was unfortunate for Jordan and his situation, Hicksy, but it's allowed Ivan an opportunity to step into that role as a green dot and get that experience, which I think will go a long way for him, in his future in this league. But he's really, he's playing fast. He's playing with confidence. I think his confidence is growing each time he goes out there, especially with the helmet, and it kind of forces, his hand as far as, his communication during the week. Like, he knows he's got to, go talk to this guy and, relay the call to, Metellus or Bynum or Harrison, or the D-line, which was, Pixie's responsibility. But now, it's his responsibility. And I think he understands that responsibility and what goes with that. I think he's, starting to elevate his play, in large part because of that responsibility.
Any optimism that Jordan will get back? I don't know if it's too early to know yet. Or
I think he's day to day, but there's optimism. I certainly have optimism about that. If you know Jordan Hicks, he's the guy who's going to do everything possible to get back as soon as he can. We got a great training staff, so I know they're working with him. He's in meetings. He's around. He's still leading. In the ways that he can, and I think as soon as he's ready, he's gonna work his way back out there. But I know he was on IR, so I'm not sure exact dates on it. But yeah, so we'll just take it day to day, week to week.
What do you think of the way Caleb Evans was playing before the injury?
I thought he was playing well. I thought he was playing physical, tough, tackling well, doing a good job in coverage. Another young player that's kind of growing week to week. Obviously, had the setback with the injury, but look, he's a tough kid. He's a smart kid. He works at it. He understands his strengths, his weaknesses. He's playing to his strengths. So I think we'll try to get him back out there as soon as we can as well.
The ways they use Devontae Adams, what types of challenges does that present this week, trying to control him?
Yeah, obviously he's one of the best receivers in our league. He's fast, great route runner, great hands, combat catcher, run after. He's really got the entire package. They get him the ball in a myriad of ways. But they also, when he's doubled or there's a lot of attention paid, to him, they got guys like, Jacoby Myers and, this tight end Michael Mayer is a very good player as well. Obviously Jacobs is a good back, so they've got some skill players that pose a challenge. But specific to Devontae, he's just one-on-one. It's a tough matchup for anybody in the league, so we'll have to pay close attention to him.
when you're prepping for them, how do you kind of compensate for the coaching change there? 'Cause it's not only the head coach, but the coordinator change and the quarterback change. I mean, is it a different team, or is it still running the same scheme from what you can see? Or?
You really watch both. To me, it's about players, not plays. So, regardless of who the coordinator is, Devontae Adams is going to have some targets, and so is Jacoby Myers, and they're going to give the ball to Jacobs. I think they've done a nice job, since the coaching change, of moving the football. They got the young guy in there, quarterback. O'Connell playing well, getting the ball out of his hands quickly, trying to run it, getting to their key playmakers. So, some of those things are just standard, in my opinion. As far as shifts and motions and, the smoke and mirrors around it, that's different coach to coach, but, it's about players.